Think about the day-to-day habits you have right now in your life. Are they helping you to live your best life, or are they hurting you? And if you do have bad habits in place, how do you change them? Let's talk about it. Hey guys, I'm Nikki and welcome to Live Your Bliss, where we learn to manifest the life of our desire. So if that's something that you feel like you would like to watch, then make sure you subscribe to the channel and join the family. To all of my existing subscribers, thank you so much for coming back. I appreciate you guys so much. And if you get any information that you can use in this video, make sure you like this video so you can let YouTube know that you like my videos, and they will keep suggesting them to you. So let's talk about habits. So what are habits exactly? Habits are routines that we put into place that we do on a regular basis. Usually we do these habits unconsciously, meaning that we don't have to think too much about them to actually do them. Some common habits that most of us, I hope all of us do, usually are like brush your teeth or drive home from work daily. Those are things that you do on a regular basis that you really don't have to put too much thought into doing it when you actually perform those. So why do we need to form better habits? The life you're living right now is partly the sum of your bad habits that you have put in place. Like James Clear mentioned in Atomic Habits, our small habits build up to form the greater scale of our lives. Meaning that the little things that we do on our day-to-day basis ends up adding up and creating our future, who we are in the future. Now, of course, there are going to be other influences that affect us, but today we are focusing mainly on our habits. For example, eating McDonald's doesn't seem like such a big deal, but if you make a habit of eating McDonald's every single day, then that will eventually lead to a very unhealthy life, maybe obesity, something like that. Now, on the flip side, just working out one time, you're not going to see a huge difference. You're not going to work out one morning and then all of a sudden have the dream body that you've been wanting. But if you make a habit of working out every single day, then yes, you will eventually get to the body that you're looking for. So if you're currently unhappy with any part of your life, let's go ahead and talk about how you can start instilling new habits today and start making life everything that you want it to be. So my first tip is to start small. I mentioned this in my How to Get Out of a Rut video, so if you haven't seen that, go ahead and check that out. I'll make sure I link it in here. You can check that out after you're done with this video. But when it comes to trying to form new habits in your life, it does not have to be these huge, life-changing, grand changes. As I mentioned before, all you need is small changes to add up to end up giving you the change that you're looking for. Forming new habits is not an overnight process. You've built up the habits that you do now over years of time, and you can't just change those overnight. So if you're trying to make a habit of saving more money, try saving $5 out of each paycheck instead of $100 out of each paycheck. If you're trying to lose more weight, try setting out 10 minutes every day to work out instead of 30 minutes or an hour. If you're wanting to start a habit of journaling, try just writing out a couple of sentences every day instead of trying to get a full journal entry out. If you're wanting to start a habit of reading, try doing a habit of just reading one page a day and building on that. Eventually you'll start getting used to these small habits and you can start expanding them and building on them once they start to form. So my tip number 2 is you need to make it easy. When it comes to forming habits, you need to make that habit easy for you to do. The harder it is for you to do, the less likely it is for you to do it or to stick with it. Take the guesswork out of doing these habits, because the more you have to think about it, the harder it is for you to do, and the less likely it is for you to actually do them. You need to set up your life to be able to perform your habits easily. For example, with saving money, try saving up an automatic savings so that $5 that we were talking about earlier, instead of having to think about every paycheck putting that into your savings account, set it up so it automatically withdraws out of your checking account every time your paycheck goes into it and goes straight into your savings account. So you don't have to think about it at all. You're already starting a new habit of saving without you having to put too much thought into it. If you're wanting to start a habit of waking up earlier in the morning, try setting your alarm clock across the room so you can still hear it, but it forces you to have to physically get up out of the bed to go turn that alarm clock off. So therefore, that's making that habit a little bit easier of waking up, because you don't have the habit of turning off your alarm clock and going back to sleep. If you're wanting to start a habit of reading more, every day when you make your bed, sit your book on top of your pillow, so when you go lay down in the bed that night, your book is right there on your pillow. You can actually see it. It'll remind you that you want to read. Again, that's making it easier for you to actually continue with that habit. If you're wanting to eat a little bit healthier, start sitting your fruit out so it's a little bit more accessible. Also, stop buying the more unhealthy foods and things like that. When it's not in your house, you're not going to eat it. If it's there, if you buy it, you're going to eat it. So again, it's about making these habits easy for you. If you're having to have willpower every day to fight the Cheetos to get to the bananas, then you're not gonna get anywhere. Make that a little bit easier for you. Instead of buying those Cheetos, buy more bananas, buy more grapes, buy more healthier foods if that's something that you want to make a better habit of. Start thinking about exactly what new habits that you want to put in place, and put things in place that will remind you to make the choice of doing that better habit rather than the old ones that you're already used to doing. So tip number 3 is to reward yourself. As humans, we are more likely to keep doing something if we know that we're going to get rewarded for it. So set up reward systems for yourself when you complete a new habit. This is going to start making performing those new habits fun for you and make you want to start doing those more. Always make sure that you're rewarding yourself that isn't going to cancel out the habit that you're putting in. So, for example, if you're putting in a habit of working out, your reward shouldn't be a cheeseburger after you work out for 30 minutes. It's kind of counterproductive. So make sure your rewards are going to balance out your habits as well, and it's not hurting you even more. Instead, for example, once you save $500, reward yourself with buying yourself something special. Of course, within the budget of not burning the $500 that you already saved. Sometimes you can even reward yourself with one of your not so good habits. James Clear referred to this as habit stacking. So say, for example, you reward yourself for working out every hour after work. You reward yourself with an hour of TV time. You're stacking one of your good habits with one of the habits that you like to do, one of your older habits, and it's still not hurting you in the long run. So me personally, one of my vices is social media. So after I read a chapter of my book, then I reward myself with 20 minutes of scroll time on social media. If I do not read a chapter of my book, then I don't get the 20 minutes of social media time. This is also going to be good with punishing bad habits. Like telling a friend, if you don't go work out every day for the next week, that you have to give them $50. And also, just to throw that in there, it's always good when forming new habits to have somebody to be doing this with you, to hold you accountable. If we have people that are doing this with us, the accountability itself is going to make it more easier for us to start instilling those new habits. Or also things like, if you don't hit your savings goal, then you lose social media for a week. Just have something in place that will remind you that you could be making better habits. And make sure you're rewarding those good habits when you're choosing to make the choice of those good habits, and you're punishing when you're choosing to make the choice of those old bad habits. You want to start forming new habits because it's going to be an improvement in your life. Building a workout habit or a reading habit or a journaling habit isn't for everyone. Sit down and figure out where your life specifically needs improvement and start there. Alright guys, that's all I have for you today. Thanks so much for watching the video and getting all the way to the end. I appreciate you so much. If you got any information in this video that you can use, make sure you like this video. Also make sure you subscribe so you don't miss any future videos on here as well. If you haven't already, go ahead and add my social media. I post on there daily to make sure you have everything you need to live the best life that you can possibly live. Alright guys, I hope you are living a beautiful new year right now. You guys enjoy your life and live the best life that you can possibly live.